you. Like that thing in the distance there, when I'm loud enough, it does the spectrum analysis, the frequencies that are hitting it. And then that one there is a dBA meter, decibel audio, so we can see how loud things are for when I play the red guitar over there, or the ukulele, which I want to play more of. Here's our subscriber count. We went down one, we got up one, so 129. Back again because I made some friends on the weekend, and my friends on the weekend were nice people, and they're trying to support me by subscribing to this channel. So I don't really want you to feel sorry for me and subscribe because you feel like you're supporting, you know, an old loser. Like the channel is just something I'm interested in. Yeah, for the sake of getting experience in doing video and audio and doing music in particular, because there's a few things I want to show you here tonight, which I've recently integrated into the Schack as well. So let's head over back to the workbench. I'm going to bring the Mobi camera, which is the top right screen, and then you'll be still able. Oh, I've got two cameras the same. Hang on, I've got to change something on the inputs. We'll move over here, and I'll move this chair this way so that we can still get a reasonably good view of what is happening over there, and then we can move around. Oh, look at this. This is the black leather chair that is now sitting comfortably in the Schack. Resurrected, saved from a life of, I don't know, trashy existence in someone else's lounge room. It was outside for 2 days. I felt so sorry for it that I brought it in. Also selfish. It's a full leather chair. Look, it reclines. It does the whole reclining thing. It's super comfortable, and it's got that leather kind of a feel to it. So it's actually really cool. Okay, so I'm glad I saved that. So this is what we've got going here today. I've got the Micro Freak from Arturia. I'm going to put on. Oh, this could be super loud. Let me see if I can do a quick recording of a sound, and then we'll see how loud it is, because it could be that it's just so loud that it's ridiculous. Because what I've got is not just the Micro Freak, but a new toy to accompany the Micro Freak as well. Just got to get a good. Let's go wide angle rather than try and push this back further and make it super dodgy. There we go. We get the old wide angle going. Okay, so with the, it's pretty loud. There's a sequencer. How do we get the sequencer going again? So we go sequencer, and then I can do a recording. Splice order. Where's that recording gone? So I've got to practice this because I don't know what I'm doing. Bend, dice, splice, pattern. That's it there. Record. I can see it now. How am I going to do this? Let's see if I can use these headphones over here to see how loud it is. Because again, I was rushing. Ooh, this sounds interesting. Why is it doing that? Might be too low. Octaves, nothing. Oh, that's strange. Because what I've got normally, let's take that off. I got the Micro Freak set up so that it'll do a touch sensitivity. So I touch it softly, like velocity on it is going to be low. If I hit it, it goes louder. Plus it's got the after effect. You can roll your finger along the pad and it kind of filters out frequencies. But when I use the sequencer, it's not as smooth. But anyway, it'll give us an idea. Because what I want to do is... no, it's not going to work. That is not how I wanted it to be. Sounding interestingly different. Because what I've got the multi-effects unit here. It's a Behringer, $58 off Amazon. The reason I got this is because the Arturia Microfreak is actually a mono. It's a funny one. It's a paraphonic, which means it'll do in parallel 4 notes. And the 5th one will just override one of them. So it only does 4 notes at a time. So it's kind of semi-polyphonic, but not really, because it's still a mono synth. It's just got a way of making 4 notes sound at the same time. But being mono, there's a whole lot of stuff that we miss out on comparing this to stereo synthesizers. So what I've done is I've worked out which multi-effects unit can I get which will take a mono input and make it stereo out, which is what we're going through with this. And this was the cheapest one. It's plastic, by the way. It does run off the Boss power supply units, the negative 9-volt tip. So it's compatible with the power supply adapters from Boss. Or it does run off a 9-volt battery, but I think you've got to unscrew the pedal and put the battery in. It's really weird, like physically 4 screws to come off and put the battery in. But what I like about it, I don't know if we're going to be able to hear. So if I bypass that, yep, you can hear. Next up, what I want to do, I'm just going to put this on hold for a second. Because I just want to see what the level of the noise is. Sorry about the drone, but I just want to make sure we're not, that you can hear while I'm still trying to explain what's going on. It is noisy, but I can still hear my voice over the top of it. I might turn it down a bit, make the mix a little bit different. So we'll turn that down a little over there. Gives us a little bit less volume on the synthesizer. So you can hear the synthesizer there. I love how it's got the velocity sensitivity and aftertouch. And the keyboard's weird. It's one of these capacitive keyboards. They're not actual physical keys. So it's a piece of PCB circuit that your skin capacitance is changing the on-off situation for the transistors. So it's quite responsive, very quick. It's got a glide knob here. So you can do an immediate switch, or you can glide into it. That's really slow. Or we can go pretty quick, or immediate, or over top of each other. I like it just around about, I don't know, say, what's that, 9 o'clock? Just feels good with that noise anyway. So yeah, what I'm doing here is basically showing you the natural sound, well, the synthesizer sound that you've patched in. And then when you add the effects unit, let's run through the effects really quickly. It's got a flanger, which is what we were listening to just then, a chorus, a phaser, a delay, a tremolo, and a pitch shifter. So it's got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, 6 effects. I thought it was 5. 6 effects, hence FX600. Don't know why 00, but anyway. So we've got a level as a parameter 1 knob, parameter 2 knob. These two, the parameter 1, parameter 2, change either the rate or the intensity, I've seen, on the different settings. So I can't mix chorus and flanger, or phaser and chorus, or tremolo and pitch shifter. It's just one effect at a time. So it's a bit of a limitation there, because I was hoping that the two parameter knobs would somehow blend in more than one effect, unless I put it in the middle between the two, but I think it doesn't do that. So let's try the flanger. So it's got a bypass, push the pedal down, it engages the circuit. I'll put the parameters right down to 0, because I have noticed when I played around earlier today that these are quite sensitive for quite a few of these effects, and you don't need to push the knobs all the way around to full maximum. So we've got minimum and maximum written on the knobs there as well. So with flanger, and the level is just going to be how much of that signal comes through compared. So there's dry, and then fully wet is removing the dry signal completely and putting in the modulated effect. So I leave it, depending on what it is, I'll leave it in the middle, so we've got half and half. You can still kind of get that after touch effect. So that's a flanger with no adjustment on the parameter 1, parameter 2. I'll just do one at a time. Parameter 1. So you can hear a bit of a siren effect, and it speeds up. It goes really slowly when it's down near minimum. So I'll leave it about, say, 9 o'clock, and then we lift up the intensity, I think it is, for parameter 2, or maybe it's the amplitude of the siren effect. And I like it slower. Something like that. So no effect, an effect. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't really like the flanger on this too much, I've got to be honest. The chorus, however, I love. So you don't need to use much of this. When I put, so there's no effect on parameter 1, parameter 2. I've got the level about 50%. You can hear there's a bit of a difference. Not much, bit. And then I just turn the chorus maybe to 9 o'clock on parameter 1, and about the same on parameter 2, or if I go further, you can hear a bit of a stereo effect happening. So that's, parameter 1 is on about 9, parameter 3 is on about 3 o'clock, parameter 2 is on at 3 o'clock. I don't mind the chorus. And if you put it on a lot, like if I go max on parameter 1 and 2, and then maxed out the wet dry, it just sounds noisy. Whereas with about, say I go 3 o'clock for the level, like I said before, I'll feed in parameter 2 first. I don't mind that. This is like a filter sweep on parameter 2, and parameter 1 is like a secondary filter. I don't mind that. I'm not a really good pianist or keyboard player. All I do is play basic chords or single notes. Anyway, that's chorus, and you can. So less of chorus is better, I think, for that one. Phaser, I generally like phaser. This one, I think. Can you hear that? If you've got headphones on, I think you'll hear it better. It's like ping pong between left and right. So it's interesting because without it, you've got the mono signal going through left and right, and you get the aftertouch is helping, but with the effects unit, you can hear that wide stereo now. So it is breaking up left and right properly into a stereo effect. For $58, that's not bad. Like a lot of synthesizers have got built-in effects. The Micro Freak, to keep the cost down, they didn't do that. So I think a stereo digital multi-effects unit attached to the Micro Freak is a really good way to just get some extra sounds, I guess, out of it. Yeah. So the phaser is good fun. I like that. Wish I could play better. That aftertouch though is so cool. So yeah, I like the phaser. Let's go back to chorus. Just want to see. Chorus is not bad. It gives a fuller body. I've got that on full now, the wet dry. So that's the normal sound of the synth, and then with chorus. Yeah, that does sound cool. I do like chorus on this pedal. This is good. Phaser, like I said, I like that too. Similar kind of a sound. Delay is actually good too. Like a bit of a, what do I call that? And I don't know what, so that's the, you can hear that's the delay for parameter 1 going longer. If I maximize parameter 1 and 2, it's just repeating now continuously. So it looks like parameter 2 is doing something with the timing. I'm not sure what parameter 1 and 2 do, but they're definitely interacting with each other. Yeah, I like it. So delay. Oh, okay. So parameter 2 might be the length of delay, maybe. It's pretty quick. The rate of delay. And maybe parameter 1 might be the number of repeats. No, 2's, I don't know. I'd have to do a bit of research, find a manual to understand what exactly they do. But I like delay. And again, it's got that stereo ping pong effect, so it's kind of making use of the stereo sound capability as well. Tremolo, I haven't actually played around with tremolo on this very much. Let's have a listen. So that's just the synthesizer. That's pretty good. So similar to delay, parameter 1 and parameter 2 are doing different things, but I don't know what at this stage. It could be we've got sawtooth and square wave. Yeah, that's probably what it is. That sounds like a square wave. This one sounds like a sine wave. So you blend the two together. And then parameter 2 could just be a filter. Yeah, hard to say. Or depth maybe, not sure. Oh no, parameter 1 is duty cycle? combination maybe, duty cycle and intensity maybe, I don't know. But good effects for tremolo. It's not appearing to make use of stereo. I can hear it a bit there though. A little bit. And then lastly is pitch shifter. So it's already shifted it down because we've got the parameter 1 and 2 minimum. If I lift them up, I can hear it click when I change the parameter 1. So it's flicking through different settings as I sweep parameter 1, and then parameter 2 you can hear definite engagement of circuits as it sweeps through, and the pitch is increasing as well. So there's probably series capacitors and resistors working out timing. So that's probably, because they're both kind of at 12 o'clock, that's probably not affecting the pitch, because it sounds the same whether I engage or disengage. Now if I up the parameter 1 and 2, there you go. So it's changed the pitch with changing the 2 parameters. So parameter 2 looks like it actually affects the pitch higher to the right, lower to the left. And then parameter 1, I don't know. It's changing something in the circuits. I don't know what though, because it's rising a bit, then it goes to a next circuit and it comes down again, and then it comes down again and comes down again. So it's like a notched setting. Not sure exactly what that is. So pitch shifter is interesting, but we've got the octaver on the Micro Freak anyway, so maybe that's a little bit of overkill. Don't know. So, but you can engage it obviously and disengage it quicker than using the octave switches. So maybe there's a plus in that. I don't know. But so far, I like tremolo, delay, phaser, chorus, flanger. Maybe if I just play around with it, I like it better. It's kind of like you could use that for special effects. I prefer it on a slow setting. Maybe with a different synth sound, you get a different need for it, but it's pretty variable, so you can change, you know, that's full on for everything. And then if I just have parameter 1 full, parameter 2 minimum, that's that. If I swap it, parameter 1 minimum, parameter 2 full, that's not bad. It looks like it's sweeping through left and right channel. I can hear it go through a bit of a sine wave as well, like a wave kind of effect. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, I could think of, see the reason I bought the Arturia Micro Freak is because I want to get into movie sound production and editing of sound and doing movie scores and things like that. So I've got a few friends that are working on indie film productions, and the sound effects machine would be interesting to plug into as an input into this. So I've got to figure out how I can get samples, I guess, from that and then plug it into this. Yeah, I can do it that way, sample it, but I wouldn't mind doing something live. And I think there is actually a microphone input on the TRRS headphone output. So it's got headset capability, and it's got an octaver in this, a vocoder in this. So I could modify that pin out, or that input output, because it's a TRRS for headphone headset use. I could use the connection for the microphone as input for the sound machine to bring in voice or samples direct into that, using the vocoder then to manipulate that sound. and then use that to make a stereo kind of effect as well. So that'd be cool. So this has got a lot of applications, and it's a reasonably inexpensive machine to get into synthesizer work. So yeah, it's one of the reasons I wanted to get this synthesizer in particular. Just making sure you can see what's going on there. So yeah, that's a really good. I'm really happy with that, especially converting that mono signal into stereo the way that we were talking about. I just love that so much. I'll have to work on my keyboard skills. But that's, yeah, I'm going to have so much fun with that. That's cool. I can get some more effects in that space. That's cool. I'm getting into electronics work as well. So I got a couple more pieces of equipment to set up the electronics side of the Schack. So in here, we've got some more equipment. And it's basically so that I can isolate my electric circuits with that one-to-one isolation transformer. It gives me 240 volts AC, but not connected to ground on this side. So with that plug, that's not connected to ground at all. On the other side, it's connected to ground. So everywhere else in the Schack is grounded, but whatever's connected to that is going to be not grounded. And that's so that you can isolate the test equipment, and so that the things like if you've got live or neutral connected to the ground chassis of some equipment you're working on, and there's some kind of short, then it won't go to ground. And if I touch it with one hand, it'll only go between me touching it and the device, and won't do a current through me, through the floor, back to ground that way. So it'll protect me from being electrocuted and the equipment from being damaged. So that's what the one-to-one isolation transformer is for. And I like to put that at the start of the testing circuit. It's in series. And then we put this variac in there to, so if I buy old equipment which hasn't been used in ages, then I can use the variac to slowly bring up the voltage from 0 volts to a full 240 volts over a couple of days, for things like the capacitors to warm up and get the electrolytic material in the capacitors loose and working properly. If you just zap it with 240 volts and some equipment has not been used for decades, then it could be that the electrolyte has pooled in one place or is solid and needs to be loosened up with electrons flowing through it. That's what that is going to hopefully protect equipment from being further damaged by just turning it on full power straight away. Plus you can do interesting effects with the amplifiers. If I put an amplifier, say this one here, oh, and I've got a new badge for that too. I changed the badge on it. PV, yeah. If I plug that into that variac, you can get what's called brown noise, where it's not being supplied quite enough electricity. The transistors don't get biased properly, and it makes it fuzz out. So it becomes an interesting effect. And one more thing to add to the guitar, I couldn't help myself. I've added a light in here, this green light. Oh my God, it's so cool. So for example, if I do this, if I plug in this cord here, pretend, oh, I can't reach. Let's get a different one. Let's get a different one. Say, it doesn't matter, it's a stereo mono. If I plug that in there, two hands might have to do here. Can we see? I'm not sure. Yeah, we can, okay. And then plug that in there. And I added a switch so it's on off for the circuit so it won't flatten the battery. It does need to be mono. Damn. The switch in there is a particular type of switch. Where's my mono? Will that reach? There you go, maybe that one will reach. And then we switch it on, and then we have a green light. So I can tell if I put it down and I'm not playing, to save the battery from going flat, or batteries actually, I added another battery. 9-volt battery in here, and on the back I put another 9-volt holder. So it's now 18 volts running through there to give the afterburner here a lot more headroom, so it can not distort quite as easily. It wasn't distorting too much before, but it'll last longer with no distortion when the batteries finally do die. But that will save me from leaving the guitar on. Hopefully it'll remind me, oh, the guitar's on, and then I can just turn it off and or unplug the lead, because if that's on, there's no indicator. There's another switch in this jack which needs to be connected as well, so it's like a 2-stage. So if that's in and this is off, it's okay, and if that's out and this is on, it's okay, you know, in case I forget to turn it off. But to turn it on and make it make music, I've got to have that in and the switch down, so it'll work. And I just love how that old school switch is there, and the green light glows. It's just so cool. And all of the old timey switches. I'm going to do one more thing to the guitar. In fact, 2 more things. What I've done, I've ordered 2 old school meters. They're square. I'm going to try and put them one here and one here, volts and amps, so you can see. We can see how much juice is left. That's stupid, isn't it? I shouldn't do it, but I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. Yeah, so that'll be really cool fun. That will be so much fun. This guitar, it is so good. I'm going to do, I did a little bit of a review last time we were here, but from memory, I think I had a problem when I was trying to wire up the light and the switch, and I thought that the VMC, the variable mid control, and the BTS, the bass tone system, had failed. They hadn't. It was just that I wired up something incorrectly in there. So we'll go through what all those switches do, so that I can record for future reference what everything does, because it'll be too easy to forget. You know, like this one here is the phase, so you can go in and out of phase either, I don't know whether it's 180 degrees positive or 180 degrees negative, or whether it's 90 both ways. But either way, this switch in here also does a quick phase change. It reverses what the phase is going to be based on what that is. So you can do it fine-tune with that, or just flick this switch and do a quick phase conversion. This is this one here is the single coil, and then up is double coil. Single coil, and then up is double coil. This is for serial connection, back, and then forward is parallel connection. So these will be wired parallel when the switches up the top here are all up, or towards the front of the guitar, and then series in there when all of these are back towards the back of the guitar, the way it is now. Kill switch is the same as before. This pickup selector now works, but I've got to also change these settings here. When I'm using the neck pickup alone, I can move that up to this position here, and then I've got to flick this one to the middle, this one to the middle off, and then I can use, sorry, I think that's right, middle, and then I can use that to go single and double coil. The neck, I can push that down there, and then disengage the, sorry, the bridge, push down the bridge, disengage the neck with putting those two like that, and then I can go single or double with single or double coil with that switch there. But this way, in the middle, I've got both, and if I want to disengage any of those, I can just do what I did there with the switches alone, and I don't have to move that down. But if I want to just block out everything for sure, there's no signal interfering, I can move that down and move the switches. This one is a blend knob for blending how much in parallel or serial, how much of each pickup I put in the mix, again in parallel or serial, so that's really changes the tone quite a bit. These two here though, wow, these change the tone dramatically. This is the treble, that's the bass control. This is the mid control, that's the sweep. So it's like a wah pedal built into that. You move it, if you move it by hand, you can hear it go wah, wah, wah between the different frequencies, and then you can leave it where you want it, and it'll just make the noise that you're after. I can get a Brian May sound out of this if I turn these two full I think it's full on, that one full off, and then sweep it to a point where I can pick up in series as well. And I think I have out of phase and a blend of the two. And then I do that sweep, either full on or full off, I can't remember which one. And I can get the Brian May sound from Queen. It sounds so good. Oh, it's so much fun, I've got to tell you, so much fun. So, got a couple more pedals over here we went through last time as well, so I won't bore you with that. And I've got a classic chorus here for the guitar and an analog chorus as well, which I want to play with probably tomorrow and see what we can do there. One last thing, the last item I want to show you is, I'm going to leave that kind of there. The last item is regarding Suno. So one of my buddies, who I'm pretty sure you already probably remember, is James. James and I got together and we made music a while ago, and I wanted to show you how people have got it wrong about AI, and in particular Suno. So let's see if we can get this working. So over here, I'm going to try and do this way, so you can see my pretty little face as well. You know, personal brand and everything, we've got to make it work. So look, this is a song that I wrote and performed, and I put it up on the channel. Let's just have a quick, I want to make sure we're not going to deafen you, so I'll just put these on and make sure we can monitor the noise. It starts off pretty loud.
Monday morning blue.
That's not it. Oh, I need it to stop. Why is it not stopping? The one I'm after is actually, where is it? Oh my gosh.
It's Monday
Stop.
morning.
That's not the one.
Something's not right.
Actually, no, I can't. I'm not going to show you the one I was going to show you was "Take Me Home," and you can look on the channel for "Take Me Home," or you can go to the SoundCloud and listen to some of the music which I've done. What I'm going to show you, what I've done to a couple of songs, because James actually got a few of our songs, ran it through Suno as a produced part. So the idea is, I think this is how you should use AI for music production, is not to put in a prompt to say, hey, make me a 12-bar blues song, or make me a song that sounds like a surfing tune from the 60s, you know, with a Stratocaster guitar, What I think is the best way to use AI as a tool is to substitute AI as the record producers that we used to have in the days of old. So I'm trying to come up with original tunes using ukulele, guitar, my drums, the synthesizer, whatever's at hand, and then put words and music together. And I just literally spend an hour working out a very rough kind of lyric idea, a really rough kind of a musical idea. So I aim for some kind of opening kind of a tune it's kind of catchy. So typically 3 chords, sometimes even 2 chords, like Cocaine, J.J. Cale. Listen to J.J. Cale's version of Cocaine, or George Benson's Broadway. There's a couple of chords that they just keep on repeating. It's not the chords which make the song, it's the way that they are hitting the chord, making it ring out, the timing and the rhythm and the notes they're choosing to emphasize, which is making that music work. And that's what I try and emulate, is that kind of an idea where it's the emotion that you're conveying. It's not the technical ability to play is really important. But more important, I think, is the passion behind what is being produced, what is being sung or performed, you know. So I try to write music where it's going to have an emotional connection, and I start with my emotions and try and connect with that. And if I believe in it enough, then it's going to work. And I'll show you what I mean. So you can see more of the finished products on SoundCloud. So if you go to my account, ALR Harris, on SoundCloud, look at the play all list, you'll see, maybe from the dates, but you'll see which is the later, which is the newer version. The earlier versions have got this funny multi-door icon next to it, so they're the originals. And then the Suno produced ones, they're the ones that will have some kind of cover art attached to it. And what I'm trying to do there is not release that version. I'm trying to actually then, if I like the song enough, try to emulate or mimic that performance. So the singer's tone, their voice, the emphasis they put on the words, the timing of their words, the way they're playing the guitar, if it's a guitar, the emphasis of the notes, the timing of the notes, the bend of the note, what phrases they're using between chord changes, all those kind of little nuances. That's what adds to all the songs, in my opinion. So I'm trying to work out a draft, get someone like Suno to do the producing, make it sound like it should sound, and then copy the output of that. So it's very much similar to what was done in the past in the 60s, 70s. Oh God, from the start of recording music, you had performers who would get any old guitar, put a song together, someone would see the potential, they would produce it, they would record it and add things to it. Like they would emphasize a certain frequency, they'd emphasize a drum beat, they'd emphasize the bass maybe, or they'd make the voice louder. So that's what I'm talking about producing, is the end product is got all these nuanced changes to it that the performer probably didn't even think about. And then that is the output that people want to buy, or that people are interested in listening to. And that's the idea I think that we need to adopt with things like Suno, with AI. You don't parcel out the whole thing to AI. You basically start with where you are, you've got that raw energy, that raw idea, polish it up really quickly with AI, listen to it, and then maybe go through that once or twice. I typically am happy with that first go that comes back, and because I'm using that as the basis to then do the next iteration and make it more of my performance. So it's helping me get to a stage, because I'm finding with, you'll see in a sec, the songs that are going through that production process through Suno, they're playing much, much, much better than I can play and sing at the moment. I want to emulate that, so it's going to help me become a better singer and better performer in terms of playing guitar, a better technical player. And so I see it as a win. It's going to be a win for me. I'm paying $15 a month for up to 500 songs to be pushed through Suno. I'm not going to be able to do 500 songs in a month. There's no way. So $15 a month to get lessons, in effect, or motivation to improve is a small price to pay when you try and get someone to teach you how to play guitar at the level that I want to learn. I'll be paying a lot more than that, a lot more. And I've got to travel somewhere, find parking, get food, all the other stuff. Whereas this is so much easier. I just literally did this a few minutes ago. So let's stop talking and I'll show you what I mean. So over here, I grabbed this file. Let's have a quick listen.
Can't put my finger on it. Just not right. Got up late this morning. Missed the train. Got to work late.
Okay, you get the idea. So my singing style is Aussie blues. It doesn't hit, Have a listen to what Suno's done when I pumped that in and I asked Suno to come back with something. So this is version 1. I'll play 2 versions. So this is what Suno's come back with, which I'm going to try and emulate.
Monday morning blues. It's Monday morning, something's not right. Can't put my finger on it, just not right.
Okay, I love that so much. You can hear the origins of that. So that chord change to the kind of lead to the chorus of dun 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 dun. That's come from my interpretation of what I wanted to project using the guitar. And I love the sound that I got out of the chords I was using. But this, like that production, that voice, that bass, that drum, for me to put that all together would take me weeks, and I would not get it to the level that is at. And now, instead of me releasing that as my song, there's no way in the world that I'm going to release that and say, that's me. I don't sound like that. But what I'm going to do is make my voice sound similar to that and make my Aussie accent work in a way where I can kind of make a blues song that I love to sing and perform. Because it, you know, I've asked for a bit, and when you are emotionally connected to that song, people notice. They stop and they do a double take and they look at you and they go, holy shit, what are you singing? And it's really, that's what is addictive, is you're conveying an emotion across the air to other people that connect with you, and it's just so rewarding. I love it. This is the second version. Let's listen to that.
Monday morning blues.
Very similar. You see how it's got a subtle difference.
It's Monday morning, something's not right. Can't put my
Trying to get to the
finger
chorus
on
bit.
it,
I want to hear what he does here.
just not right. Got up late this morning.
Yeah, dude, that just rocks. I love that so much. That tone on the guitar, so there's a couple of things there which are going on that I want to take notice of. So the tone of the guitar, it's almost like a screaming jet kind of a sound. I just love it. So I've got to work on the tone of the guitar, the tone of the voice, the style of playing. To get those screaming leads in, listen to that. I can do the rhythm, but I cannot play that lead like that, and that's the challenge for me. So this is why I think this is valuable. This makes you a better performer and a better singer and a better songwriter. Because imagine if you were able to put a track together as the input, like this was the input, and then what came out. I'd hate to think, I don't know. But the thing is, it's saving me personally so much time. I'm much happier paying $15 a month and get to a point where I can feel challenged and pushed enough to want to get better. And that's what this is doing for me. It's motivating me to actually be better. Yeah. So anyway, I want to leave you with that. That's how I think AI should be used. You don't farm out everything from 0% to 100%. You basically give it the chunks where you haven't got the time, in particular, the resources, or maybe the motivation, but more the time and resources should be the driver for engaging AI when you need that. Otherwise, you should do it yourself. If you haven't got, like, I don't have a pro studio. I've got a studio, but it's nowhere near pro. I've got noises that come in from jets and screaming kids and dogs and delivery people and interruptions and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, you're in the middle of trying to get a sound, and then there's all these interruptions. That's going to be disastrous. It'll just demotivate you in no time. So, I mean, to set up a studio pro level, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars versus $15 a month to have someone else do that. I mean, the same output, the same outcome is coming, and the skill set for, you know, getting EQ correct, the mix and so forth. I'm sure there are people that love doing that, but the amount of time that it takes them to do that and the amount of time AI does it is a fraction. And the output is not going to be monumentally different. It's like, I'm going to use James as an example. Sorry, James. So James sent through a production finish on a track that he did and compared that to a production that that Suni did, or Suno did, and I mean, sorry James, but man, I much prefer what Suno did, and it was done in a fraction of the time. Seriously, so yeah, that's where I see the benefit. You give that chunk of the work that you either don't have the skills to do, haven't got the resources to do, haven't got the time to do, and then you take it back off, and then you keep on working on it, and you make it yours. And especially where you can stretch yourself to become a better singer, a better player, a better performer, then I think you're the one who wins. Like AI, when you treat it the way that I'm suggesting you treat it, AI will never ever be able to perform the way that you perform, because it won't get the practice, because you're taking that offline. So you hold on to your original idea. Suno works on your idea as any other human would, that you pass it out to, like a freelancer, and you get that work back. The freelancer and Suno do not own it, you still own it, and then you become a better musician, a better performer, because you can see where your gap is in terms of, that's the finished production. I can't play like that yet, I want to get better. Or you employ people who play to that level and get them to work on your track as well, and therefore you are bringing humans back into the equation, leaving Suno where it belongs, in the internet. I just see that as a smart way to operate. That is my 2 cents worth. Leave your comments in the comments section below, and we'll have a big argument about it, I'm sure. But that's where I see the future of it, and I see that it's appropriate to use AI like that as a tool. I think we would suffer if AI was eliminated and removed from the equation. We'd have to be reliant back on humans to do the job not as well, costing much, much more, and taking a lot longer. That's it. I'm going to leave it there. All right. On that note, we should probably say goodbye, shouldn't we? Because I've offended a whole stack of people, I'm sure, just by saying that alone. Like the Luddites of old, the Luddites, people got this idea Luddites in England were against technology. They weren't. The Luddites were the people working on the machines that made the factories work. What was happening was the corporations, the leaders of those businesses, were employing people who weren't as skilled at a cheaper rate to work on the machines on the factory to keep everything working. They were looking at, how can we reduce cost? Let's get rid of the expensive workers who maintain the machines, and we'll get the cheaper labor in. Those expensive workers who were ejected out of the business and lost an income came back and started damaging the machines to the point where the new unskilled workers couldn't fix the machines. The ones who were the ex-masters and workers on fixing machines, they were called the Luddites. So they weren't against machines, they were against leaders ripping them off and replacing them with cheaper humans doing a worse job. So this is not a Luddite argument, what we're talking about here. I hope you understand that. Anyway, I'm going to go, because that's my rant on my soapbox. Done. About bloody time. There we go, just on an hour and 2 minutes. I wish you a good night. Thanks very much for joining me. I'm going to just check to see if there's any comments, because I could have triggered people then unintentionally. Maybe intentionally? No, unintentionally, honestly. Okay, why can't I see? Oh, there it is. We have 0 views and 0 people. I think I've managed to scare people away. This is actually not so bad, because I get to go to bed early this way. All right. Good night, y'all. You guys have a great night. I'll see you anon.